1, 2. Microphone. Okay. Down here. Michelle? Ah, Michelle's there. There you are. Excellent. How are you? Give me 1 second here. Getting the iPad to work. Right now. There we go. I just want to make sure that you guys can see this. Can you hear me, Michelle? I just need to know. This one. Is that, can you hear me or no? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, David will not. All right, that's cool. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Okay, excellent. Give me 1 second, Michelle. And to this number. Boom. Okay, I see your face. I can't hear you though. Give me 1 second. That's going to be on my end. Let me try moving sound to here. Okay, Michelle?
Yes.
There we go. Yep, now I can hear you perfectly. Everything is all good. So you can see the iPad and you can hear me, correct?
Yes, I can.
All right, excellent.
There's a pop-up that says, excuse me, I got to sneeze. It says the Webinar Jam Studio app will no longer work after April 15th.
Yeah, I saw that this time too, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna have to figure it out later. I saw it, I was like, uh-oh. Okay, so well, yeah, I'll figure it out then, but for right now, today it works, so let's just go with that.
All right, no problem. David's not going to be on this morning.
Yes, I heard. I saw you. I saw that. Okay. So all right. So what I want to do is before we get into find it. So we'll be talking about finding properties today, for sure. But before I get into that, hold on. Before I get into that, what I want to know is how things have. I'd like an update on how things have gone so far. You've had a lot of time to host games and get homework done and get to the 50 people, and I'd like to hear some good news.
I guess I have some good news. Well, we hosted a game. Well, the last game I hosted, nobody showed up.
Okay.
For the last like 10 days, I've been working. I've been working double ups and stuff like that. So for the last 10 days, I really haven't been doing anything but working and sleeping. I took advantage of my daughter going away for the holidays so I can make some money.
Oh, okay.
To pay off these bills. I have like 40, I think like 45 people because, the last week I haven't really been doing anything but working. So, and I was kind of upset that, I set up a game and like nobody showed. David had to go away. He has some other pressing business to take care of. So I was like kind of at the place by myself and stuff like that. But it was all right because, like the area we're at, people did come in and it's like, oh, you're not playing your board game today? And I was like, yeah, I want to play it. It's like, nah, we've been drinking a little bit too much. So,
Got it. Okay.
I was like, all right, no problem.
That's well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're starting to recognize you, so that's great. And they recognize that you play this game. So okay, that's good. Where were you playing at when you said
It
start?
was a bar.
It's not a Starbucks if you were playing.
No, it's not a Starbucks.
Yeah. So you were
You know
playing
what?
at
The Starbucks around where I live at, they close early. You know, and like I can't play before like 6 o'clock. And I think my Starbucks closed at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
okay, well, you can choose. It doesn't have to be. You can go to. I've gone to many different Starbucks. There are some that are worth driving to. I mean, depending on, um, the demographic in that area, there might be, just do that instead.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just never thought about it. And it's funny for the last like 2 weeks, I've been going on a meetup, but no one has I signed up for. I looked for the cash flow games, but like for the last 2 weeks, no one's really had a game. Or I just haven't gotten a response. I've been checking it out, but no one's really had a game because I said I need to participate in other games outside of just hosting my own.
Okay.
So I didn't check this week, but I know last week and the week before, like no one had a game. They had other stuff, but that I wasn't interested in.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So,
All right. So of the people, you said 45 people. So okay. So of those people, did we deepen the relationship with any of those 45? Did any of those have you mentioned one game where nobody showed, but was there a game where somebody showed? How'd that go?
yeah, we had games with a couple of people showed just prior to the holiday.
Okay.
They Well, a lot of them was a couple of them were people that David brought in.
Okay.
So he was supposed to get back with them because they was his friends and family.
Sure.
Um, Outside of people that I've spoken to, I have a couple of people that are interested. Like if I have a store owner, deli owner down the block from me, and I talked to him and everything. He said he's interested. He's looking for property. He's looking for another storefront building, in which he already has.
Okay.
So he told me if I find anything, to come bring a portfolio and have something for him to look at and stuff like that. I was like, okay.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So then all right, well, we're making some progress, I guess. When is your next game scheduled?
I'm trying to do one Friday. It's based upon I'm trying to set up Friday.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So the next piece in this whole process, after getting to the point of funding the deal, obviously the funds come from people, but finding it it's not too dissimilar. Finding so now we've got to find the property, and what it comes down to is I want to make sure that you have a number of different ideas and tools available to use to go find properties anytime you need to start looking for one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. 1 second. Whoa. There we go. Boom. So one of the fastest, okay, this is, and understand, all right, so let me get this, make sure you get this part right. While it's not like shopping for TVs or clothing at the store where you go look for an ad and you go to the store, then you buy that particular article of clothing or that particular television. Part of the reason that what I'm about to show you is not necessarily to put you in contact to buy that particular property, but to begin the relationship in a more direct fashion. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So when it comes down to it, there's a question. First of all, the fastest way I found, one of the fastest ways I found to find deals is right here. You ask people. So ask those who have a real estate license, or actively, and this is key, they have to be actively listing property. Okay. So, and you ask them a very simple question. I'm writing it out right for you right now. Do you have anything that can be seller financed? That's the very question you should ask anyone who is currently actively listing property. Okay, let me explain this a little bit. Did you get a chance to write it down before?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Okay, so here's what I mean. When something can be seller finance, it's an indication of distress. It means that the traditional method of just going to a realtor, and going to the bank for traditional financing won't work in this case. And if a owner of property came and their property wasn't in the right condition or location or whatever, they couldn't get a buyer from a traditional financing means, but they've listed it with the realtor, this would be the position that realtor would be in, because they would be telling the owners, hey, look, we've got to keep discounting the price, all this stuff in order to get it down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So when one of the ways to help that realtor actually get that property sold and earn their commission is seller financing, but oftentimes they don't think about that as a way to actually get the property sold. So when you're dealing, what's that?
Why is that?
Because it's outside their wheelhouse in terms of what they normally do. Again, their normal process is to go, a buyer and seller come together, they go to the bank, somebody funds the deal, a whole bunch of cash moves around, and the transaction closes. That's how they are used to doing it. And it would be the same thing if I you go to the grocery store down the street, right? And they're used to cash or debit cards or credit cards, etc. But what if you said, hey, and instead of that, how about I give you 200 free rides on the metro? I mean, I don't know. Right? Now, does 200 free rides on the metro, does it have value?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, it would.
That's the way of transportation. Yes, it would.
Yeah, exactly. It would have value, but they're not set up. The deli's not set up to accept that as a means of compensation. They don't know. They wouldn't even know how to make that work.
Right.
So this is that same thing. And what the realtors are not, most realtors, not all, I mean, there's like an exception here or there, but not many. Most realtors are not trained in the art of using anything other than, we'll go to the bank, get your loan approved, and once the bank gets the loan approved, we can go to closing. They don't know how to do anything other than walk a client through that process, because that's what they do. Or, hey, you can pay out all cash, or you can go to the bank. If you can't do one of those two things, then you're not a qualified buyer. That's literally like in their head. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and which is why sometimes properties can sit on the MLS for a very, very long time, is simply because they haven't come up with, there's nobody who's willing to pay all the cash the buyer needs, and then there's no one willing to finance the deal, so it sits until one of those two conditions get met. So what I'm saying to you is, by asking the question, do you have anything that could be seller financed? What happens is that the realtor, if they're actively listing, they run a quick inventory of all the problem properties that they can't move. And there could be a number of them, or there could be none at the, depending on the type of realtor. But whether they say yes or no, you win. And here's why. Because you've started the relationship, but two, what's really important is, do they know anyone? That's the second piece. Is like, if they don't have any listings, that could be seller finance. They may know a person in their office, which is kind of the follow-up question. If they say yes, then great. It's all about, tell me about the property, blah, blah, blah. Easy. If they say no, then it's okay, cool. Do you happen to know if anyone in your office might have something like that? And there's probably somebody in the office, unless they, today's their first day, they probably don't know. But for the most part, there's probably somebody in the office who has a property that could be seller finance that they've been having trouble moving and they would love to move. So by asking the question, it will lead you to a deal. Now, here's the thing. You have no idea what's going to be on the other side of this. It could be, a commercial property. It could be a 2-flat. It could be an entire apartment building. It could be a single family house. You never know what's on the other side. There's no way to know. It's just, okay, if you've got something, let me see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just be prepared for that. It's okay. Just know that you don't know what's on the other side. But that is by far, I've closed more deals by doing that than almost any other method I'm going to show you. Okay. So that is by far the method that I've used the most to actually end up closing more deals. It's not necessarily the method I've used to find the most potential properties that you could buy, but it's definitely the one that has the highest close ratio, what I just described. Okay. So do you have anything that could be seller financed is number one. You have any questions on that?
No, that's pretty straightforward.
All right.
Go ahead. Like realtors, how would I approach realtors? Like, I don't know any.
What do you mean? They're just people.
They're just people. Thank you, Jay. Like, just strike up a conversation with a realtor, go to a realtor's office.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You work for transportation, right? So if I walked up to you and I didn't know you and I'm in the middle of New York and lost and you're wearing your uniform and I start asking you transportation related questions, would you find that weird?
No.
No, because that's what you do.
Right. That's
so right. You could literally pick up the phone, find a realtor and ask them this question right now. Like, pick up the phone, ask them this question and find out, because they're in the business of buying and selling property or helping other people buy and sell property. That's their business. It's not awkward. It's awkward for you because you've never done it.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, yeah, it's awkward for me. All right, but I see, I understand now.
Yeah, so it's
somebody that this is what they do. So for me, it's a weird question, but for them, it's something that they hear all the time.
Every day. Every day. So it's not like, that's funny. I don't know what to say to that. No, they don't know where their next buyer or seller is coming from. So it could be you as far as they know.
Okay.
So is that okay now? Are we good?
Yes, I'm laughing at me. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So let's go. All right. So the next place that I like to send people to is actually Craigslist. And here's why. This is probably where you're going to get the best practice, by the way. Actually, you're in New York. Hold on.
I'm in New York, Westchester County, New York. Just put New York.
Yeah, I've got to find US cities. There we go. And there's New York right there. So that you're saying that's good enough if I just did that? Okay.
Yeah, New York City is good.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to show you really, really quickly. So watch this. because this is the way you can get really comfortable talking to people really, really fast. All right. So you see where it says real estate by owner?
No.
No? Okay.
Where are we looking at?
Okay. You see right up here on the screen.
All right, I'm looking on the screen. I had your arrow, but I lost it.
Oh, did it go off too tall, too high? Is that what happened?
All right, yeah. Now it's on the left. Okay. You went
All right.
back.
So all right. So right here where it says real estate for
Real
sale.
estate for sale, yeah.
You see that? So I'm gonna click that, and then up so you can't see. You're not okay. You see, you can't see the drop down box. Then is what you're saying is what you don't see, right?
Yeah, you see the arrow. It's on all the way at the top.
Do you see what do you see where it says real estate by owner now?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a way to. All right. So basically, there's a menu option up here that says housing. You know what? Let me do it.
Okay, I see that. New York housing, real estate for sale. I see all that.
And then there's in one of the drop downs, it says real estate by owner. Do you see that now?
Okay, I see that. Yeah.
So now let's look at the difference so that you can let's go. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna show you. I want you to pay it. So real estate for sale says 2,500 or so listings. That's just too much work. So I'm trying to narrow it down, right? So I want to go to real estate by owner. It still says 2,500. So this is great. So now I'm going to start using other things that I can do to try to narrow down the search or narrow down the number of potential listings that I can look at, right? Now, in this case, I'm going to use a very similar strategy to what I said previously. I'm going to start looking for things where people are automatically already offering seller financing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type in seller financing in the search and see what comes up. Notice how I went from 2,500 to 34.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we went from 2,500 to 34. Now we have 34 potential listings to look at. Now, as I told you, you never know what's going to come up. So you've got a townhome, and then you've got what looks to be a really like a mansion of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
But so this is a great example of what I mean. You don't know what's going to come up, but this is a great way to narrow it down and begin looking. Interestingly, though, this one they'll let you have it for $50,000 down, 7-bedroom. You know.
Yeah.
So yes. All right. So this looks like an ad. So I'm skipping that. This looks like an ad. Here's a Victorian house, $2.6 million, wherever that is. Here's another house, 200,000. But do you see what I'm saying? Yes. There are houses to choose from. Here's again, the same thing's important. All I'm trying to do is get in contact with a person. Where's this? Is this anywhere? No, it's not. That's in Pennsylvania. It's not near you, is it?
No. But shoot, I'll travel anywhere.
What's that?
I'll travel anywhere.
But okay, so in this particular case, I'm gonna just click that one and so we can look at it. Yeah, there it is. If interested, please call Norman, and then I can click to show contact info, and now I can call Norman.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And if I can negotiate the correct type of price point and or seller financing with Norman, that then I have the property under contract, and that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what we're looking for. You're trying to build your inventory, right? And this one totally needs work.
A lot of work.
There is no.
There's nothing.
It's definitely not moving ready. Far from it. Far from it. But so you get my point. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for something that you can sell to somebody else that might not know how to do exactly what I just showed you, or maybe they know how to do it, but they don't want to do it.
Okay.
Which is those 45 people that you've been talking to, this is where after you do the investor identity interview, you'll know what they're looking for. So that's how you'll be able to know what it is that you should try to offer or buy. It's like, here's one, right? It's rented income property, South Bend. Is that near you? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Mount Vernon, is that near you?
Mount Vernon is near me, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We got Mount Vernon. It clearly needs a lot of work too from these pictures. Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, that looks like there's an area in Mount Vernon. Really, the houses. That looks like that area. It's a big thing they had on the news about that area with these houses over there. It's like
Okay.
It's a couple of blocks, a rows of houses that look like that.
Goodness gracious.
It's not really a good neighborhood.
Okay. I mean, but that, see, you're supposed to know that. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a good neighborhood or not, but that's what, wow. But you see where I'm saying? So we're finding properties that are available. The question is, can we, just because they're available, doesn't mean we can strike a deal.
Right.
Oh, well, here's an interesting one that I would contact, even though it has no pictures.
Yeah.
What I like about it is this right here. It says owner retiring, selling many investment properties from portfolio. That's usually a really, really, really good situation.
Okay.
For trying, because they know, they know about seller financing options available with reasonable down payment. Private and confidential sale, no brokers, please. They are specifically asking for you to call, or a person like you to call.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? This is this is one of those where I'm like, I'm looking for their contact information.
Okay.
So that is there a reply? Did they hide it? Oh, there it is. It's up here in the corner. So if I were you, I'm kind of being serious right here. I would actually try to talk to this guy or gal or whoever this person is. They don't want to be contacted except through Craigslist, clearly. So the only thing you can do is click this reply right here.
Right.
Because that's the way they have it set up. But I'm like, all right. And it's close to Metro North train station. Do you know what that? I'm assuming you know what that is.
That's how I get to work. Yeah, the Metro North is, yeah.
I was like, if you don't know where that is, then we got problems.
No. Yeah, I know where that is.
So, but do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how quickly I mean, I don't even live there, but I can find properties pretty much anywhere by knowing where to look and what to look for. Does that make sense?
Okay, when I contact him,
Yeah.
I get a price. I find out what it is that he's looking for.
Well, the main thing, the goal of what you're trying to do when you are actually talking to the person, the goal is to actually get to the point to where you can go see the property. You want an appointment at the property. That's what you want in this case. Because he's got no pictures, no nothing. I mean, you want to know about a property, so the goal is to get an appointment at the property.
All right, and then once I have that,
then once you're at the property, what you're really trying to do is find out his investor identity. You're actually not really, while you're looking at the property, your concerns are all about him, trying to understand why he's selling, what he's looking for in terms of, because here's the thing, people say all the time, I want all my money, but I've very few, like, I mean, if he's selling a lot of property, he's going to end up in a very bad tax position. So he probably really doesn't need or want all his money. So you just need to figure out how many of the properties he has, how many you can buy using seller financing, how many is he willing to sell to you, all these types of things, so that you can go out there and buy as many of his properties as humanly possible. It's what I'm thinking. Does that make sense?
Hello, Jay Massey. You have a caller.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm just writing.
Okay.
Just writing some things down. All right. Um, once I have, once I have all that information, goes just to check out the property.
Hmm.
Nah, I'm just writing down what you said. What my main goal is to actually go check out the property and find out, why he's selling, how much he wants for the property. Um. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get all of this information,
You're gonna write an offer
right off.
or a letter of intent, at least. Yeah, absolutely.
Jay, I never did this before.
Yeah. No. I'm saying that I'm just trying to make sure that you understand it's really that simple, not 40 steps more. It's like literally you could. So, for example, let me put it this way. Where's this? So let's see. Let's pretend you contact this guy today. He says, "Sure, come on over today." You go see the property today. You could literally later today have an offer written and sent over to him today.
Well, how would I write an offer?
It's actually inside the documentation I've already sent you. Is the quick offer kit? Is a template of an offer that you can follow to write so that other people can say yes to you. Yeah, that basically I've given you templates so that you can use it already. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, it's inside the quick offer kit. If you don't find it, just say something in the Facebook group, and we'll make sure Jacob or somebody gets it to you.
What else do I need? I just have it like I got the offer ready, like I wrote him off and everything. What else do I need after that?
Him to say yes.
And then when he says yes,
then you freak out like most people.
yeah, like I am, like I'm like okay,
Yeah, you freak out like most people. But hopefully one of the 45 or how many of the other people that you already talked to already want what he is selling. Does that make sense?
Okay. Oh yeah, got you.
So if one of those 45 that you've talked to want what he's selling, then great. You then you do some more paperwork with them, which I've already given you. You actually already have it. And at the end of the day, you get them to sign the paperwork saying, yes, I want it, and I'll pay you your fee. And then they go to escrow and close.
Got you. Sounds so simple.
It is simple. Because it has a lot of meaning to us as humans and in our financial lives and all this other stuff, we tend to add more, to it. But it is that simple. But we tend to make it more complicated by adding all this extra emotion to it, especially once we start realizing that, oh my gosh, that could be $5,000, $10,000. Don't you know how many months I used to work to make that? And I just did it in so much. Yeah, I understand that. That's where that's coming from. Happens all the time. But that's why I'm also trying to be like, yeah, this is it. It's that simple. And I want you to eventually get to the point to where you go, yeah, it feels that simple. You just wake up, this is what you do. It's done.
Okay. I got the idea.
Yeah, we just got to get you through the step, but this is the steps. I mean, it's the steps are really, really simple. It's getting you, and the same thing like I've been saying about talking to the people and building your database.
Right.
It's really, really, it's simple, but doing it consistently with intent, holding these games to build that data, to do these things.
Okay.
That's the hard part. The is disciplining your schedule and yourself to keep doing the cash flow games, is to keep building, to keep having the conversations over and over and over again. That's the hard part.
Okay. I got it now. Because that is the hard part.
Yeah.
It is for me,
Yeah, it's for everybody. It's
for, like for my job,
mm-hmm.
like It's easy for me because I work outside. I'm a supervisor outside. I see basically the same people because I have, I have one area that I work and I'm there every day, 7 days, 5 days a week, whatever. So it's easy. You build relationships, like you said. You build relationships with people that you see every day. I'm in Harlem. I work in Harlem. It's going through a gentrification. You know, so I've met a lot of people. Well, I consider a lot. Past two for me is a lot of people.
Sure.
So I understand the building relationships and stuff like that, but it's different. Um, once I get to know people, then I'm warm up. But it's the process of getting to know people.
You don't.
I'm
I know that's why I've defaulted to a board game, because it made it easier for me to get to know people, because it was such a struggle. I'm like, I gotta know people in order to get this thing done. If I don't know people,
can't get it done.
We're sunk. So I need a way to make it not awkward for me, so therefore it's not awkward for them to get to know people.
Yeah, got you.
That's really the function that happens here is, hey, I'm using the board game because I'm socially awkward otherwise, and this would be easier. If we're focused on a board game, it'd be great. So yeah, I understand completely.
I got it. I'll work on my skills.
Indeed you will. Indeed you will. So but okay, so what did we talk about? We did that, and we did Craigslist. And I don't think you're going for commercial property, but as a wholesaler. But in case you are or want to, let me show you that. Let me show you a way to do that as well. Okay, so you should see my computer screen again. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is almost exclusively how I use this next site. Let me see. You are in New York.
LoopNet is the site.
LoopNet is the. Stop all this. Okay, so LoopNet is the site, and it's primarily for commercial properties of many different kinds. I mean, so let me see if I can show the filters, property types. There we go. So you can see multifamily, retail, industrial, office, land, agriculture, hotel, motel, special purpose, residential income, sports, entertainment, healthcare, senior housing, etc. All of these can be wholesale deals. And there isn't one that isn't. What determines whether you should be doing it or not is those 45 people in your database. Do those 45 people in your database, do they want hotels and motels? I mean, I don't know. And we won't know until we do the investor identity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So same thing, senior housing, healthcare. So these are all opportunities. But if you don't have a buyer, then they're not an opportunity for you at the moment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So when it comes to LoopNet, I specifically use it in only one fashion. I use it basically to get realtor contact information that are actively listing commercial property. So right here on this first one, we have this guy named Mark. All I would literally do was contact Mark and say, hey, Mark, I saw that you had a property on, was that 245 West 134th?
Yeah.
And while I'm not necessarily interested in that particular property, but I'm curious to know if you have anything that could be seller financed.
Okay.
That's literally what I would do in this case. Cause let me see. I don't think I'm interested in this. It's 11 units. That sounds 11 units for 1, 2. That sounds not okay. Why? What
it's a
is
brownstone? It's a 3. That looks like 1, 2, 3 stories, three floors up, and the basement. That's in Harlem. That's up by where I am.
God. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm woo. Okay. I'm just that is insane.
What's insane?
according to him, this is a vacant building.
Yeah, it probably is. They still have some property. I don't know if you know much about Harlem, but they have Stravers Road. That's over there, like somewhere in that section, Stravers Road. All that property has went up to like 1.5 million. Most of those brownstones over there, and they're like 3 and 4 stories. 3 stories up and 1 in the basement.
Wow.
Yeah, like the bottom here, that's probably a full apartment, and then you have the stair. That's one level apartment, 2 and 3, and they're all walk-ups.
Wow.
And all of them are going for like 1.5 and up because the gentrification is happening over there. Like a couple of years ago, like if I knew they were selling property for like a penny, but being black and not coming from a family that have knowledge of real estate and stuff like that, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I've often told people, and I totally get that. I've often told people that the purpose of education is to train you and I to recognize opportunity. The challenge is that we've all been trained to recognize one type of opportunity spelled JOB. So it could have been free, but if you don't recognize it as an opportunity, it doesn't really matter, how much it was. The price is irrelevant, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that brownstone going, okay, I'm in my head, I'm doing math and numbers real fast going, not that I want something, wanted something in New York, but that's kind of, 11 units. That's a lot of money per unit. That's more than California pricing per unit for what it would be considered A-class property, and I'm guessing this is not an A-class neighborhood. So,
but it's up and coming. I'm telling you, it's up.
I believe you. So I'm just like, wow.
Hey.
All right, but here's my point. I have no interest in this particular property, but I do have an interest in Mark, because I'm sure Mark has got other. Let me see, what other listings does Mark have? See, I knew he would have more. So he's got other listings, which is great. And I would easily contact Mark and say, hey, do you have something that could be seller financed? Right? Okay. So here's a 5 unit. He's got some other stuff, as you can see right here. I don't know if any of that makes sense or not, but there's a 33 Vanderbilt in Brooklyn and a 33 Vanderbilt in Harlem. Yeah. And he has both of them. I think that's funny. I'm willing to bet it's the same owner. Yep. I'm willing to bet it's the same owner. Anyway, the point is, you can see that Mark is actively listing property, and that's enough for me to go, okay, Mark, let's have a conversation. Okay. And that's what I would want to do. See, why is this 20 units only $500,000? Where's Sleepy Hollow? Is that not? What's? Oh, I lost you. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, there we go.
All right. I see you. I don't see the property there.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm sitting here looking at. I thought you saw the property. Hold on one second.
No, I'm looking at you.
Sorry. There you go. How about that?
Black screen. Okay, here we go. Sleepy Hollow is in Westchester County. That's up by me. But that looks like it's the whole unit, the multifamily.
It's saying all 20 units for $500,000. I'm like, that sounds reasonable to me.
I'm looking at, because this guy down the block from me, like I was saying, a store owner, that looks like a storefront in the bottom of it.
Yeah, it is. It's
this
2
is like,
retail, 18. It's 18 residential, 2 retail.
Yeah, this is like something that he's looking for.
This is something I would be interested in at this price, if it wasn't in New York.
Well, I could always be a property manager.
No, well, you can't change the weather. There's nothing you can do to change the weather. So Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You can't change the weather, and unfortunately, that's probably that and the laws out there. You guys are you got it's worse in California. Anyway, um, but the what's that?
I'm reading what you're highlighting.
Yeah, I was reading. I was looking at it too. But yeah, see, this is there's no. I mean, there's no way this is gonna sell for $500,000. There's got to be. I mean, this I'm missing something or something. I don't know.
I don't know. You have to look at it. Wow.
Wow is right. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm missing something. There's more here. But anyway, my point is, Mark is the guy I would call. I would call Mark, and I would still then ask him, do you have anything that could be seller financed? While I'm looking at this looks great. 18 units for $500,000. I at the same time, I'm still asking him, do you have anything that could be seller financed?
Okay. Let me ask you something. So, like, my brother
Yes.
and his wife, they live in California,
Okay.
and they're looking for an investment property,
Okay.
rental property, investment property. He said
Okay.
Roseville, California.
Okay.
So, they have like a price point in which they're willing to spend and stuff. I should send them over the investment thing. Like, how would I help them out?
You have to get there. So investor identity is where you at. You need to know that. So you should have that document. But we were basically using. So you don't. I would still want you to play the cash flow game with them somehow, or get them to play it online. Hold on. I mean, that's goodness. Come on. I know that they're in California. But they can, I was going to say, if they can't play with you, then they can go to a meetup group and play the game. If there's one nearby, I don't know where Roseville is.
Well,
Oh,
actually, they live in San Ramon.
okay.
Yeah, they're in San Ramon.
All right. So let's try that. So, and now let's type cash flow one. And they've got there's some people playing the game so they can go learn. Oh, hold on. That's Mission Viejo. That's supposed to be within 50 miles of San Ramon is what I was.
Got 100 miles. That's kind of.
I did. I changed it because I just don't know. My point is that there are people playing the darn thing. Okay. That's all I'm trying to say. All right.
Okay.
There are people. And they can go play with them. Now they're not necessarily playing with you, but it's better that they play somewhere somehow than not at all.
Okay.
Because they still need to understand the concepts, and then you still need to do your investor identity interview. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna send that to them. But
So
like I think this is their second. This would be their second property.
Mm-hmm.
My brother said that they let the other one go because it was like too far away, and the property manager wasn't any good, and
Too far away from what?
for them actually having to do, I guess, the work. He didn't really get into it, but he's like the property manager that they had overseeing the property wasn't good, and so they had to do the legwork, and it was too far from where they lived at, and with their workouts and stuff that they were doing, they just couldn't physically, manage their own property. And they didn't like the company that they had managing. So
Got it.
That's what I
Totally
got.
understood. Totally
So-
understood.
all right, I just want to know like how I can get them started.
That's what I would do. That's honestly what I would do right there.
All right. So
Now,
I
what
have
I would, okay, so as far as the homework goes, so now remember, as a wholesaler, you got to work both sides of the equation. You're finding the buyers, and we've talked about that. But now we got to create some deal flow. Now, by holding your cash flow games, you will create deal flow. It will happen. People will begin to bring them to you. But when you're trying to intentionally go find deals, you got to use these 3 tactics that I've given you, right? Just talking to any realtor, asking them, do you have anything that could be seller financed? Going down the Craigslist route, and then going down the LoopNet route. Here's what I'd like you to do. At a minimum, have a minimum of 5. Okay, it's only 5 conversations where with someone who's actively listing property, or if you go down the Craigslist route, 5 different owners that are there. So to begin to have a discussion and try to get an appointment at a property.
All right, hold on. 5 conversations.
Yes.
Conversations with active realtors.
Mm-hmm. Or owners. If you don't want to talk to realtors, then just talk to the owners. Go down the Craigslist route. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I want you to get an appointment at a property. That's what I'm after. That's really what I'm after.
And my goal for this week is get an appointment at a property, right?
Yes, ma'am.
My goal this week. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Anything you say, boss.
I hope so. I look forward to seeing that because I know what's on the other side of all these things. So, all right.
You know, I'm here. I'm here for the journey.
Good. And it definitely is that. So yes, go ahead and do that, and that will get us started in the right direction.
All right, my dear, you got it.
Okay.
I got a question. Quick question. For your Q&A, it's so late at night. It's like 7 o'clock your time?
No, 4 o'clock my time.
4 o'clock. Oh.
7 o'clock your time.
Oh, okay. All right, I can do that. All right. No, I get up like Jay. I work.
Oh,
like,
that's right. You get up early. Yeah.
I get up at 4. I have my daughter. She's 12, but we have violin, we have piano, we have 12 at school. You know, I drag her with me to the cash flow. You know, I'm starting the cash flow, so I drag her with me on Fridays.
Sure.
You know, and then like it's hard during the week to like have to try and find a cash flow game that can fit within my schedule.
Right.
You know, and you know, it's just hard.
I know.
You know, it's hard.
I know 100%. That's that. Yeah, I understand, but there's no. It's part of it.
I can't do it in 2 days. I'll do it in 4. Just as long as I get it done, it doesn't matter. I'm here. I don't care. It's a little difficult, but it's okay.
Exactly.
All right, my dear.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year to you and your family. God bless.
Oh, that's right. Happy New Year. Bye. Stay warm.
I will. Don't worry about it.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.